All right, today we are going to do something fun. We're going to build the perfect Whataburger Big Ranch Wrap together. We'll dive into every single option, starting with the basics and moving all the way through the custom upgrades, so you can figure out exactly how to craft your ideal wrap. But first, let's think about this for a second. When you're standing there at the counter, is building the perfect wrap more of an art? Just going with your gut and what tastes good? Or is it a science? A careful balance of cost, calories, and ingredients? Well, we're about to find out.
So first things first, let's get acquainted with the Big Ranch Wrap in its most basic, essential form.
At its heart, the Big Ranch Wrap is a total classic for a reason. You've got that satisfying crunch from the crispy chicken, the cool and creamy ranch dressing, and then that freshness from the lettuce and tomato. It's just a simple, delicious wrap that really hits the spot.
Okay, let's break down what you get right out of the box. This is the standard build, our baseline, our starting point for everything else we're going to do.
Your journey starts at just $3. It's a pretty affordable place to begin. But as you're about to see, that number can definitely start to creep up once we get into the fun stuff.
And for that price, you're starting with a base of 420 calories. Now, you're going to want to keep that number in your head because pretty much every single choice we make from this point on is going to affect it.
So what's in that standard build? You get your soft flour tortilla, some fresh lettuce and tomatoes, that classic buttermilk ranch, and one crispy chicken strip. And that chicken strip alone is responsible for 160 of those base calories. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Your very first choice is about the cheese. And get this, it's a freebie. You can go with classic American for 45 calories, or the slightly richer Monterey Jack for 60. Or, hey, if you're trying to save a few calories, you can just skip the cheese altogether.
Okay, now for my favorite part, adding all that extra flavor and texture without spending a single penny more. Let's look at all the free ways you can customize this thing.
This is really where you can start to make the wrap your own. Take a look at these options. If you want more crunch, you can load up on extra lettuce or pickles for 0 extra calories. Craving a little bite? Diced onions, also 0 calories. The only freebies that'll cost you anything calorically are tomatoes, at just 5, and grilled onions, which add this awesome sweet and savory flavor for 20 calories. Here's a little pro tip. Ask for both the diced and the grilled onions. It's an amazing flavor combo for just 20 calories.
But what if you want to go bigger? What if you really want to take this wrap to the next level? Well, it's time to check out the paid add-ons and see how you can power up your creation.
If you're a serious cheese lover, you can double down for around 55 to 60 cents. An extra slice of either American or Monterey Jack will add another 45 to 60 calories, respectively, and make for a much, much cheesier wrap.
For those of you who like it hot, you have a really interesting choice to make. For the exact same price, 65 cents, you can add jalapenos. But check this out, the grilled ones give you a smoky kind of spice for 10 calories, while the fresh ones give you that crisp, raw heat for 0 calories. So you gotta ask yourself, what kind of heat are you in the mood for?
And finally, we've got the premium upgrades. Bacon is, of course, a super popular choice. It adds that perfect smoky crunch for just 55 cents and 25 calories. Grilled peppers and onions also bring a ton of savory flavor for 25 calories. But the biggest calorie hit on this list? That's the avocado, which adds a full 90 calories for that amazing creamy texture.
So, after all that building, what's the final nutritional tally look like? Let's break down the numbers for just the standard, uncustomized wrap.
And wow, this chart really puts it into perspective, doesn't it? Of those 420 total calories in the standard wrap, exactly half of them, 210 calories, come directly from fat. That's a pretty significant chunk, and definitely something to keep in mind.
Looking a little closer at the numbers, you'll see 23 grams of total fat and 15 grams of protein. But the number that really jumps off the page here is the sodium, 1,130 milligrams. To put that in perspective, that's nearly half the recommended daily intake for an adult, all in this one little wrap.
And a quick but very important note on safety, this wrap contains a bunch of common allergens, including soy, milk, wheat, gluten, sesame, and egg. So if you have any food sensitivities at all, make sure you look at this list carefully.
Which brings us to our final thought.
With a whopping 1,130 milligrams of sodium, the standard Big Ranch Wrap gives you nearly half your daily limit before you even think about adding bacon or extra cheese. So as you're building your own masterpiece, the real question isn't just about art or science, it's whether that perfect flavor is worth all that salt.